You're good.
Oh,
No, you're good.
hi everyone. Thank you for coming tonight. I try so hard. Tonight's class is who's talking to you? How to know the difference between your angels, your guides, your higher self. Right now, we are in a time of ascension, and I think that that's why this class filled so fast like that. I'm sure a lot of people will be watching it from their beds or from their couch because it is pertinent information. And I truly feel that more people are waking up in this time than ever before. If you think of even the word yoga or meditation, right? That used to be such a foreign concept, and now it's mainstream. It's the cool thing to do, right? And I think it is the cool thing to do because it's taking care of yourself, and we really, really need that right now. And that's one of the biggest things that Spirit wants you to do is come back to yourself. It's extremely important. So the benefit, like I was saying earlier to you guys, of being in the room tonight, we're going to do a mini meditation after, where you will get the name of your spirit guide. I want you to leave here with your information, not just what I'm telling you. It's the difference between a skeptic and a believer is the experience, right? So I want you guys to be able to experience what I live in all the time. And it is possible. It is a state of joy. And when we... Oh, I forgot to take my heels off. Oops. I just realized that. I'm not wearing my slippers. Anyways, when we stay in a state of joy, it's a vibration. It's a frequency, right? How many of us see coworkers that will walk in and they're in a really, really bad mood, and you can just feel it? It's like, there's a parameter of negativity that just, right? And then there's other people that you naturally vibrate to. Why is that? It's the vibration, right, that they're exuding. And so the most important thing to do is to take care of your vibration. And there's so many different ways to do it. And one of the biggest ways to do it is communicating with Spirit. Because when you're in that vibration, things naturally start falling into place. I used to be a severely depressed person. I used to deal with depression and anxiety almost every day. And when I got to know my angels and my spirit guides, and I started working in the realm of angels, my life completely changed. And I'm talking about a personal experience from going to, I don't want to get out of bed, to, I can't wait to get out of bed to see what this day holds, right? It's a completely different way of life, therefore a different outcome, right? And so all of us are here today to help raise the vibration, to anchor in the light, or there wouldn't be so many people in this room. And that's what this time is all about. It is, sorry, I get really bad dry mouth when I talk. It is a time of ascension, and that's why there has been that kind of an internal calling lately, that something's got to change or something's got to shift, and spirituality is on the tip of everyone's tongue. What is it? Right? And there's so many signs out there right now. Like, look at all the alien sightings and angel sightings. I do psychic awareness retreats in Sedona. I do them internationally and as well here. And 2 retreats ago, I was blessed enough to be able to actually see, and 25 of us were able to see angels with our own eyes. Like, right in front of us, not out of the peripherals where you're wondering what it is, right? Not those little floaty dust particles, but angels. How many of you guys were here? And you guys saw it, right? I'm not losing my mind. Y'all saw it? Yeah. And the cool thing is that it's very intelligent energy. Your angels are 10 steps ahead of you all the time. They can hear you before you've even had the notion to call, right? And the coolest thing was when we started seeing these amazing sparkles of light, because that's what angels actually look like. They don't look like us with wings. That's what we have done, right? And can they appear like that? Yeah, they can. So that we recognize who they are or what they are here to represent, right? But they're quantum energy. They are, it even says in the Bible, the oldest text in the world, it says that 1,000 angels can fit on the head of a pin. Why do you think that is? Because it's quantum, right? But we don't stop to stop and think, okay, well, what does that look like if it's quantum, right? I want everyone here to stare at the wall here, okay? And you're probably so used to seeing with your eyes that you won't notice, but try and see the little pixelated light, it almost looks like, you know, the TVs with the fuzzies back in the olden days when we hit a channel that wasn't on, the fuzzies. Can you guys see that with your eyes, the fuzzies? The little, right? That's energy. How many of you guys actually stop to go, oh, that's energy? And when you move your eyes and you see the impression or the outline of a rock, right? Kind of just shift your eye a little bit, you're going to see the aura of that stone, the energy of that stone. How many of us actually stop to recognize what it is that we're looking at, right? We can see energy with our own eyes. We can see auras. How many of you guys can see my aura with me standing here? Can anyone? No one? Really? Okay. Thank you. At least someone does. It's the energetic outline. So if you look just above my head, right, and just kind of let your eyes go fuzzy, even. Can you see it now? Right? I like doing it against this because there's a lot of energy on this wall. Like I'm actually standing up here sweating, standing next to these crystals. But the more you practice, the more you'll see it, right? Well, with angels, you can see them too. And the more you ask, the more they're going to come, right? So for anyone who hasn't signed up for my retreat yet, I think I've got 4 spots left, and I'll teach you how to see angels. If it was daylight out, I would teach you how to see them. It's so much easier to see them in the daytime than it is at night for whatever reason. And there are different areas, like in Sedona, we were looking over a beautiful canyon where you could just feel the energy coming up from the ground. And it was so easy to see into that dimension. And that's because there are different concentrations of energies, pockets of energies all over the world, right? And Sedona is a huge mecca of energy with the vortexes and stuff. So when we meditate in the vortexes, it's amazing what all of a sudden you can see and what you can feel because you've been opened up to something that you just didn't pay attention to before, right? And with this stuff, the more you pay attention, right, or the more you ask, the more you will receive, and the more signs you're going to start to see everywhere. So I want you guys to just close your eyes right now. Let's just relax, uncross your legs. Energy flows better that way. And whether you believe in angels or not, because the person next to you, chances are they do, so their angels will have your back. I want you to just close your eyes. Take a nice, big, deep breath in. Hold it. And slowly blow it out. Take another big, deep breath in. And as you breathe in this time, visualize pure white light coming into your lungs, cleansing all the way down, and blowing it out. As you blow out any tension, any stress. Let's let all of that go. And since we are doing a class on angels, let's call in our angels and our guides. So in your mind's eye, take another big deep breath of pure white light. See it going in through your nose. Hold it. And I want you to blow out light. And in your mind's eye, and feel it in your heart, I want you to ask your guardian angels, your spirit guides, and your loved ones in spirit to step up, to come and join you, and to amplify their energy so that you may feel and be healed just by sitting in this room. So take another big deep breath in through your nose, and as you breathe out, I want you to see your energy of pure white light expanding all around you. With every breath, you're breathing in that light. And as you breathe out, create a cocoon, a big bubble of pure healing light coming in to support you, to be here. And I want you to imagine your angels and your angelic team standing right behind you, putting their hands on your shoulders, allowing yourself to feel the energy of your angels in this moment. Let's bring them in. Just like it says, when two or more are gathered in my name, that's where miracles are found. So let's bring up that white light. And on the next big inhale, I want you to extend your bubble out to include everyone in the room with protective, healing light. Feeling the warmth on your back, on your shoulders. Feel them as they come in. When you're ready, come back to the room. Could you feel that shift? It's like everything just melts away. And it is that easy. When I invoke my angels, I command it, and it's there, and I know it's there. And the biggest thing is your belief systems, right? It really is. If you don't believe that they're there, it's almost like it pushes them away from you, right? Because angels, spirit guides, your higher self, those are all interdimensional beings, right? They're quantum, they're energy. But just because we can't see them does not mean that they are not there. It's kind of like my iPad or the phone. I don't know how it works. I can't see all the signals and all of the rays or whatever, that come out of that phone in order for me to be able to call China and see someone in China, right? But I know that if I pay my bill, it'll work, right? I believe that my phone will work if I pay my bill. Therefore, it does. Angels are the same way. If you believe it will work, just because maybe we don't understand it or work with it every day, doesn't mean that they're not there. It just means that you haven't had the experience yet. And once you do have that experience, it changes you because you know that there is a team there to support you and help guide you and give you answers, and not just answers. My biggest thing coming out of the pits of despair, it was knowing that at any time I could choose to raise my vibration by tuning in. You understand what I mean? Because angels bring peace. They bring love. They bring a sense of calm that, come on in, it's okay. I have, a couple spots in there. Hi, come on in. It's an honor to have you here. Thank you. All right. No, it's okay. It's okay. I'm just glad that you guys made it. Okay, so how do you tell the difference between the voice in your head and what actually is your spirit guides or your angels, right? The way I would describe it, and here's the cool thing. So I was brought up very Christian, and my parents drilled the Bible into me. And so what I find very interesting is, 30 years later, when I'm learning through spirit and what I'm being shown, it's weird how Bible verses come back, and there's science now to back it up. Like that saying, when two or more are gathered in my name, it is so true. For anyone who wants to have a meditation of a lifetime, oh my God, we do amazing meditations in here. where I have amazing Reiki practitioners that go around, do Reiki while you guys are basically passed out meditating, laying on the floor. You don't have to sit there like this. And I want you guys to go deep when you meditate, right? So that's why I'm providing the space for it. So yeah, if you guys want to feel a cleansing, come to one of the meditations, because it's true. When you have a group, it's like, it's not just your angels anymore. It's 30 other people's angels in here as well, right? And they all do. They'll team up together to raise the roof. And it's crazy what can happen. When I do my retreats, on the Saturday night, we do this big spirit guide meditation where we call in our guides, and we call in our loved ones in spirit and our angels. And we do a contact meditation. And after that, I always say to everyone, get out your cameras. Because when you call on spirit, you have that many people calling on spirit, you're going to see orbs everywhere. You're going to see, and it's amazing. Like, we actually caught a picture of a deceased loved one in a photo where it's him, like his hair, his face, everything showed up. Most of the time they'll show up in orbs, but they do show up. And a lot of the time, well, no, you can't really see it with your eyes. You can see it through cameras because they have what our eyes don't, right? A camera can, I don't know, zoom in or whatever it is, that they can pick it up, but we can't. So what our eyes can't see, it doesn't mean it's not there. So like I said, the most important thing to do is to ask. And the second is to protect yourself with white light. Because when you're talking to your spirit guides, there is, there are other energies out there. I mean, people become spirit when they pass on, right? So when you want to go to your angels, ask them to bathe you in white light and then go forward in it. But the way I would describe it, back to the Bible verse thing, sorry. There's another one that got me that says, before you will have asked, I will have already answered. And through doing mediumship and doing psychic readings all day, one thing that I notice is that spirit likes to finish off your sentence. And I'm really bad for interrupting people because I already know what they're going to say, especially in a reading. It's like, no, let me do the talking. Let me finish off that sentence. That's my job, and it's true. So pay attention, to the thoughts that are going through your head, because they do finish off your sentence, and that's how you'll know you're getting that little whisper, because it doesn't sound like a big booming voice, I'm your spirit guide, don't turn left, turn right. It's not like that. They're not allowed. First, and you got to ask. That's the other thing too. They're not allowed to intervene even unless you ask, right? So open it up every morning. Get in the habit of asking for divine intervention. Ask them to look over you, and then watch the difference in not only how you feel, because it's going to instantly raise your vibration, because when you're in the presence of angels, you can feel it. It lifts you up, right? And a lot of what I'm telling you tonight, you got to feel it for yourself. So don't just stop here. Don't just be curious here. Go home and try what I'm telling you. Open up your relationship, because trust me when I say your whole life changes when you have a connection to the divine. It does. It completely changes. But you got to ask for it. So everyone has voices in their head, right? How do we know which one is ours? Well, you know the big, obnoxious, loud one that says, no, that's usually the one that screams the loudest is usually ego, right? So try and scream in your head right now. You can't, right? It's a thought. Until you put the air in your lungs and the words out of your mouth, it's just a thought, right? So our angels, our guides, even our loved ones, they come in thought form. We are so used to thinking our thoughts that we don't stop to go, okay, well, what is mine and what isn't mine? Because even with each other, the ladies in here that I am close enough to and have like a spiritual bond to, I could probably get you to call me without picking up the phone or texting you. I could just, come on. Because science has proven that if you heavily concentrate on someone for 17 seconds, they will feel it. They will feel it. And the closer you are to that person, so we'll say you've been married for 20 years versus 1 year, chances are you're going to have to work on it quite a bit at the 1 year. But after 25 years, they're getting the message. They're picking up the milk before you've even asked, right? So it works with people too. They are an energy, and that's why some people will pop in your head and then they call. Well, that's because when two people are on the same wavelength, they bump into each other, right? Meeting in the middle. And guess what? That's exactly what mediumship is. Every single one of us is a medium. The divine works through every single one of us. It's just who's actually paying attention. In this day and age, we are taught to listen to everything that's outside of us, but the voice that's within. Think about it. We're taught to listen to a shrink, to the law, to the husband, to the wife, to everyone else, to the best friend we're going to for advice. How often do we actually go within to get the answers, right? And I tell you, your accuracy will improve 1,000% if you stop listening to your BFF and start listening to your spiritual guidance team, because you can feel it. And the more sensitive to energy that you are, and conscious awareness of your energy, if you know what your energy feels like, if you know who you are, you're doing the work, you're looking on the inside, you're listening to that voice, you're paying attention, right? If you start actively living in the now, you can see what's not yours. You can actually go, ooh, that's not mine, and that thought's not mine, and I don't need to feel this anger that I've been holding on to because I know that that's not mine, right? How often do we carry baggage for everyone else and don't realize that that's dirtying our connection? Because we are a frequency. Everything is a frequency, right? And the more you raise yours, the more you're going to hear spirit, because they're way up here. Astral traveling, all of that, outer body experiences, all of that's very real. It's all interdimensional. How do you go out? You got to go within. I was professionally trained in remote viewing, and one of the things that they cover in the course is how to astral travel, right? And the first time that I did it when I was awake. That was a trippy thing. Like, it can happen when you're sleeping, right? Interdimensional travel. And what that feels like, a lot of the time it looks like a dream. It feels like a dream. To be in that state, because you're out of body, you're out of the sensations. It feels like flying. It feels like the whoop, right? You'll feel like you're falling and then get jolted back in your body. You know when you're falling asleep and you go like this? That's you actually starting to come out of you and getting jolted back in. If you were to not be scared or jolt yourself back in pretty quick, your whole body starts vibrating big time. Like, you feel like you become static energy, and pretty much before you know it, you're hovering on the ceiling. And it is the trippiest thing, because there is no such thing as time. The first time that it happened to me, as I was starting to come out, I remember going, oh my God, the teacher was right. I have had this sensation before. Because he's like, oh, it's nothing special. We all do it, right? He's like, just make sure you're protected when you do it. So anyways, as I was coming out, I'm like, oh my God, it's happening. Some people can roll out, some people pop out. I remember just feeling like I was sitting up, and before I knew it, I was going, okay, where has this happened before? And before I knew it, I was in my childhood home with the orange shag rug from the 80s that my parents had, exact same house. So I know that there is no such thing as time, because our furniture was even there. It answered my question. You go at the speed of thought when you're on the other side. So here's the thing. We too can manifest at the speed of thought on this side of the fence. It's just how many of us actually know how to do it, right? So this is an open door, you guys. This is a safe, open door where I'm teaching you guys how to communicate and raise your vibration in the light. In the light. There is nothing scary or evil or anything that has to do with this. I gotta say that, because I was brought up a Christian to believe that psychics and fortune tellers and all that, they go to hell. That's what I was taught. And it isn't that way. It even talks in many religions, including Christianity in the Bible, about the gift of prophecy and seers, people who can see, right? I'm one of those people. Guess what? so are you. It even says in the Bible, all of these things and more shall you do, right? We're all capable of it. We're all capable of that divine connection. It's just how many of us in our busy day are going about asking. So the first thing, I can't reiterate that enough, open up the lines of communication. Ask and ye shall receive. I can get you guys to ask later. So we're still going to do another little meditation before the night's through. So to tell the difference, thoughts move in and out of our head every day. Some of them are on a conscious level and some subconsciously. It can be a challenge to listen to all of these voices, but it's crucial for anyone on the path to enlightenment. You have to be able to decipher what's yours and what's not yours. You can feel it. If someone has the hate on for you and is sending you psychological daggers or psychic attacks, you better believe it. That's why you're waking up in a bad mood. You may not realize why all of a sudden you just feel like crap or you just feel tired and drained. Who's taking that energy, right? You don't know who's sending you those daggers. So when you're protected, when you bring your vibration up here, there's nothing that can hurt you down here because you're constantly staying in the now. And that's where it's non-stick. Becoming an observer of the mind and the voices that run through it, that's the biggest thing that we can do. Okay, so the voice of ego. The primary job of the ego is survival. Through our early years, we usually take it on as our inner voice, as it helps us to protect and teaches us about boundaries. Our ego is heavily conditioned by our parents and society. It is ruled by past fears, experiences, and culture. Although our ego is meant to protect us, a lot of the time it is rooted in fear. So, when you're asking for angelic guidance, are you asking in a state of fear? This is very, very, very important. If you're sitting with the shitty committee, it's way down here, they're way up here, and they're not really, they'll hear you, but they need a little bit louder, right? They need you to come up. And again, that's what mediumship is. It's meeting in the middle. That's what that divine voice talking to you, that talks to me, guess what? That's another form of mediumship, right? You're getting messages, getting downloads. Every single one of us has that connection. But with our ego, like I said, it's rooted in fear. So stop and ask yourself, does this feel good? Do I feel like this and anxious? Or when I'm getting a download, when I'm getting the answer, is it coming in a state of peace, right? Because angels are like this. They're a very soft vibration. Very... Could you guys feel that difference when we did that little mini meditation? Yeah, hey, that's cool. And that was just bringing them in a little bit. That was just like a 2-minute thing. You should try it for an hour and a half. It's pretty cool. So fear. Our ego wants to talk about wants, as well as securities, plans, anxieties, and stressors. It's always playing the what if game. But Spirit already knows what if. Spirit already knows the answers. They're way up there looking down on us, right? All we need to do is dial in to get what we should do. But feel it. That is the biggest thing. And if we are heavy in the go, go, go mind, or sitting in a state of fear, anger, resentment, judgment, all of those, you guys, you gotta let it go. You have to. If you wanna have a connection, like a really solid connection, where you're feeling what you should do to the point where it's like, she predicted the lottery. It's a vibration. I shouldn't say that. Anything for personal gain, and they frown on that. But let me go back. Okay, so, this is a good one. The voice of our ego always wants to be right. It's not really listening to another person's perspective. It's staring at the pain. It's going, but they shouldn't have done this. It's staring in a state of judgment, right? But what about me? But what about me? But what if it's not about you, right? What if you are just a catalyst for someone else's lesson? You know how often that happens, where it just so happens your car has to be totaled so that someone who was working too much can take 6 months off of work? Right? But we look at that as the worst thing to happen to us. Well, no. What if you just save someone from having a heart attack? Because they weren't getting the message to slow down. You don't know how Spirit or the universe or God is using you to get a message to someone else, right? How did you hear about this class tonight? Every single one of you, whether you realize it or not, you were directly asked to be here. And I had a lot of people trying to get in, hence the Facebook Live thing, because I felt really bad turning people away. People need to know this stuff. And there's not enough information out there, right? So, but if you think back to how you felt when you were clicking, okay, I'm going to that, right? That's worth it. I'm going to that. I want to learn that information. Well, guess what? Little did you know that you're going to have 30 people in here that are going to help heal your wounds and let that go, right? You were asked to be here. So think back, how did that feel to you, right? What direction had to take place in order for this to even catch your eye? And if you look at life as everything like that, even the good, the bad, the ugly, because trust me, my worst pain is the reason why I'm standing here. My father was killed 15 years ago this September. And I got to tell you, it ripped my guts out of me. I have never experienced such physical, mental, emotional pain as I did of losing that man. It was the worst and greatest lesson of my life, because that's what got me here. Ultimately, every single step along the way, had I skipped even one, none of you would be here. This class wouldn't be taking place. And obviously, we're all supposed to be here for the greater good, right? We may not understand it in this moment, but there's something that you are going to walk away from this class with that you didn't have when you entered. So, good on you for listening. That's what it feels like. It's that easy, you guys. You think that you decided to be here. I laugh at that. Honest to God, I do. I really, really laugh at that, because we think we have a lot of choice. And I mean, yeah, we got free will, but it's very apparent which way we should be going. And if it's not apparent, you got to step back and go, okay, where's my connection? Why is there so much static interference, right? It is like a radio transmitter. The more you fine-tune that dial, the more you're going to hear what Spirit is trying to say to you. Every single one of us has the same connection that I do. It's just, are we listening? In our society, there isn't an emphasis. How many of us even meditate every day? Is there anyone in here that actually does it every single day? Girl, but that's a new thing, right? Those are new things. Not your whole life. But if we were to go into India, they've got kids meditating. That's where the wisdom is, you know? That's where you see the crime rate go down and the peace come up and the respect and everything, right? Those are higher vibrations than what we do going around with our stresses on our back all the time, right? Okay, so the voice of ego is the loudest. It is the one that's screaming, no, what a jerk, blah, blah, blah. That's us. That's the Patricia voice. It hates to be questioned, and it loves to be victimized. It really does. I sat in my pity party for many years, many years. You have to be ready to get out of it. I didn't know how to get out of it. I remember saying, I went to a psychologist only a couple times, but I remember asking her, like, when do I know I'm over this? Because some days I'm okay. Some days I can breathe, and some days the pain in my chest is so bad that I feel like there's an elephant on my chest. And she says to me, very matter of fact, when you no longer have a physiological response to the stimuli. I'm like, she spoke my language though. I'm a nurse. I was a palliative oncology nurse for 13 years, so it's like, booyah, I get that, and it clicked. When I removed my triggers. When you no longer get the heart palpitations, feel like you want to throw up. When I talk about my dad, it still hurts, but I'm comfortably numb with the pain instead of it blaring out of my body. Because at one point, it was blaring out of me. I don't know how my husband and my kids put up with me. It was yucky. And now I take responsibility for my vibration, and look where it got me. It's crazy to me. I didn't go to school to teach this stuff. I went to school for nursing, right? But the universe is always going to put you exactly where you need to be for the audience that is directed with your energy to be yours, right? So whether you're speaking in front of a group or it's a stranger at the store. You never know what someone is going to say that can change their life. The saying that should be a tattoo on my body somewhere is, depressed people live in the past, anxious people live in the future, peaceful people live in the present. I don't have a clue who said that to me, but it changed my life. I made it my mantra. I totally on rewind all the time, saying that to myself to the point where even in my dream, I remember saying it in my dream, and that's when it's like, oh, that's in there. That's really in there, right? Stay in the now. That's where the answers are. That's where you can feel, and you will get sensitive enough. You'll get used to it enough. Call on your angels every single day. Every single day. Trust me. It's like, it's kind of like sex without a condom. You just don't want to do it, right? So same thing. Why would you go out into your day with all the yucky, dirty energy out there without putting on your light? Put on your light and watch what happens. See how people respond to you, right? So anyways, get your light bugs on. Okay, so back to the voice of the ego. It has the power to override the other voices. That's the thing. If my anger, because anger, sadness, depression, all of the I hate this, I hate that, it sits in the ego mind, right? So if I'm sitting there, that little tiny voice that goes, but what if this is happening because you need it to happen so that you can learn, so that you can actually in the future teach other people how to heal their pain? Because the greatest teacher is experience, right? I wouldn't be here without the most painful experience. So I've learned to honor the BS in my life. Honor the bad. Look for the teacher in it. Look for the lesson. It takes a sting out of it, you guys. And if you want to have that clear communication where you can hear it, you have to raise your vibration so that there isn't this huge gap, right? They're always there, but it's how sensitive are you to know it and to be able to hear what it is that they're saying. And here's the other thing too. Because they're quantum, you're not going to hear this big booming voice inside of your head, like I said, right? It will be that soft one. But with that will come a feeling as well. You'll start to feel peace. You'll start to feel your body relax. You'll start to feel, how many of you guys, when I said, envision their hands on your shoulders, how many of you guys could feel your angels' hands on your shoulders? That's so cool. Yeah, put your hands up so everybody else can see. You know, that's cool, you guys. Look how in tune you were. And here's the other thing too. If you hang out with people that vibrate up here and you get rid of the negative Nellies, it'll be like this. It'll be like this. Because it's fear, it's anger, it's all of that keeps you down from that vibration, right? Because those are the things that are really, really loud in someone's head. When you're angry with someone, guess what? That's usually on auto replay, right? And it's very difficult to get out of your head and get the dialogue out. I should have said this, I should have said that. Guess what? That's in your ego mind. So ditch those. Get out of it. Go for a walk. Go take a salt bath. You know what I mean? Go meditate. Go for a jog. It's a form of meditation. Runner's Rush is a form of theta meditation. So do anything. I really encourage you to do what you can to raise your vibration. Don't sit in it. The other thing too that I thought I'd mention is the mind, body, spirit reaction. If we think about a perceived fear, or a perceived incident that's angry, right, that causes, instantly our body will start juicing up to that vibration, and getting angry, and you'll start to feel it in your stomach, right, because that's usually where the anger sits, is in your stomach. You'll start to feel the tightness in your chest because your body is connected to your thoughts. And then people wonder why we're all dropping dead of heart attacks and everything lately, right? This is just as important as what's happening out here, right? Because if we're perceiving the fear, our body's reacting to that fear. Maybe at a lesser rate, but it's still responding to that fear. So it's very important. Clean mind, clean vibration. Clean house, clean mind, declutter, right? Raise the vibration of your space as well. It is very true. Clean house, clean mind. So I don't know why I need to say that, but someone needs to do it apparently. Okay, the other things I wanted to mention too is that, ego is from the left part of the brain, the left logic part of the brain. It's constantly trying to decipher and figure things out, right? Sometimes we cannot see the bigger picture, so let it go. You don't know why things may be happening. I know a few of you guys have probably heard this story, but I got to tell it because to me it was the most fascinating coincidence that I've ever had in a reading. So this guy that I had never met before walks into my office, and I looked at him. I said, "Oh, you got into a car accident this morning, didn't you?" And he goes, "Oh my God, yes, I did." I said, "Yeah, you're coming out of Safeway, right?" And he goes, "Yes, I did." And I said, "Yeah, you hit your soulmate. You better phone her." Yeah. That was the look on his face. I'm like, "Yeah, you hit your soulmate." So he's like, "Oh my God, she was really hot. There was totally some eye stuff going on." He's like, "But what makes you say that she's my soulmate? I'll give you that she was hot and that it was a girl, but what makes you say she's my soulmate?" And the next thing I go in and I ask, "Okay, why is he the soulmate?" And I can see clear as a bell him pushing his shopping cart in the produce aisle of Safeway. And as he's kind of coming around the veggie stand with the green peppers on it, he kind of bumps it. One green pepper falls off onto the ground. So he bends down, picks up the green pepper, puts it back, and just keeps going, right? You wouldn't think that would change your life. Watch the butterfly effect. Watch the movie The Butterfly Effect. So I asked him, I said, "Did you drop a green pepper?" And he's like, "Oh my God," he's totally tripping out right now. He's like, "Yes, I did. I bumped it and only one fell off." I go, "That's how I know you hit your soulmate, because an accident happens in the split of an eye. And had you not bumped it, stopped and picked it up, you would have been 2 seconds forward or 2 seconds back, but you never would have been exactly where you needed to be to hit her." An accident happens like this, right? How often has the most mundane things happened to us? We never know why. You can't identify, I'll put it this way, you can't know good without bad. You have to. We live in the world of relativity. In order to even know who you are, you have to know who you are not. How do we figure that out? By going through the crappy stuff. So the more that we honor it, and just ask for their guidance, ask for their protection and understanding while you're going through what it is that you're going through. And then watch how your day changes. Watch how the outcome softens, right? There'll be healing, a lot more healing taking place if you just ask. There are different realms. So just like here, we all have different jobs, right? And there is a hierarchy of angels and who stands closest to us. I was meditating last night, talking to my spirit guides, going, "How do I explain this?" And they showed me the triangle, almost like, the tier marketing thing. And what was interesting is the way they explained it to me is our spirit guides are the ones that are closest to our bodies. They're the ones that are closest to the human realm, right? Our angels are right above that, right? And then there's a whole realm, different realms and teams of angels like we can't even fathom in our little tiny brains, right? It is way bigger than what we think it is. And their power, their advice, it's so much greater than we know it is at this point, right? Okay, so feeling the difference is a big one, you guys. We all know what good feels like. We all know what bad feels like. Guess what? It is that easy. So if you don't know, who is speaking to you, are you getting an intuitive hit? Ask, and they will identify themselves. We're going to do that in our little mini meditation. Oh, good. We got lots of time. Now is the time to notice the signs. I will go into this a little bit. We are in a time where things are changing. And if you look at the level of intolerance in the world, did you need me to go over it? Oh, the triangle. So spirit guides, and then it goes angels, right? And then it goes archangels, and then it goes up even higher. There's another realm of them. There's ascended masters in there. There's a whole pile of them that keep going up. It's infinite. But as I was saying, now is the time to notice the signs, because it's getting really heavy duty out there. And if we don't recognize the shift that we are being asked to step into, it can hurt. It can hurt. It can hurt. I have seen a lot of people checking out lately. I've heard of a lot of deaths lately. And apparently that's part of the ascension. It's part and parcel, right? It all has to do with vibration and bringing in the light, anchoring in the light. And right now, energy is being amplified. So if we're not standing in our light, guess what's being amplified? The shitty committee. It's being turned up. Everything's being turned up. It doesn't matter where you're resonating at. They don't care where you're resonating at, right? That's for you to figure out. They're just going, here, have more, have more, have more. That's what they're doing to us right now. And that's why we are feeling things at much more of an exponential rate. If we were sad, well, now we're depressed. You know what I mean? If we were anxious, well, now it's panic attacks, right? But also, if you're sitting in a state of love, it can be winning the physical, mental, emotional lottery. Honest to God, I've never felt better in my life than I do standing in the light. I don't know why people don't want to know this stuff. It blows me away. Because it's not just me who can find missing people. You guys can too. It's just a matter of, do you know it? Do you try? Right? Does that make sense? Okay, so noticing the signs, the voice of our higher self or intuition, because we have that too. What is it with us? Our internal guidance system of the soul is your higher self or intuitive voice, which is connected to the universe. It's connected, we are all connected to that one master circuit, whatever you want to call it. We're all connected, right? It's just how many of us recognize it and feel that connection. Greatest thing you can do to clear your energy is to take your shoes off and go walk out barefoot for at least 8 to 10 minutes on the ground. I know it's freezing, so Calgary sucks for it, but if you can get outside and walk barefoot, you're going to change the energy instantly, right, of yourself. You will feel better. It's been proven that the energy of nature will reset yours. There's something very divine about that. And there's a lot of angels in nature, a lot, especially around animals, hospitals too. There's a lot that hover above hospitals as well. And I think it's because so many people pray when they're sick or when someone's dying or when someone's hurt, right? They pray a lot. And the more you pray or the more you ask them to come, the more you're going to see them everywhere. And they come in swarms. It's interesting because you ask them to come, okay, you see a few sparks. And then you ask them to come more, and it's like, boom. Thousands of them right in your face. How many of you guys have seen that and know what I'm talking about? And right in your face, right? Like, and I'm not talking about out of the peripherals of your eyes. I'm talking right landing in my hand, like I can see them. Yeah, yes. They'll land anywhere you want, just to prove to you that they're there. It's neat. Okay. So your higher self or intuition, it's here to look after you both spiritually and emotionally. It often communicates with words. So you know that self-talk that we're doing to ourselves, oh, I should do this, or oh, I wonder about this person, or you know what I mean? That often, our higher self or our intuition, a lot of the time, it is mixed in there, right? So that's why I say, get out of the lower stuff, bring your intuition, your higher self up here. And yeah, nothing to worry about who you're talking to, right? Because you're constantly in a state of divine communication, not communicating with anything that's below that, right? Raise your vibration. While the ego voice is authoritative in your mind, the higher self voice is softer and quieter. It is felt rather than heard. So that's another one. How do you feel? Like I said, we're so out of touch with our feelings due to everyone else telling us how to feel, right? How often have we done something that we knew we shouldn't be doing, but, well, actually you didn't really know, but you're like, yeah, no, I don't know, I don't have a good feeling about this, and then it turns out really bad? I'm sure we've all experienced that. Guess what? If we didn't have that experience, we wouldn't know the difference, right? Sometimes we have to slip and fall on our butt in order to learn to walk. That's this. Okay. This voice usually communicates in subtle ways or through dreams, but it may also become a persistent or nagging feeling. I'm sure all of you guys have, like I said, thought of something, and then it happens, right? That's also using your higher self, your intuition, because it's like plugging into that universal communication center, right, and getting the download from your intuition, which is completely different than your angels and your spirit guides. So your intuition is actually, the one that's closest to you. It's in you, right? And then it goes spirit guides, angels, right? Ascended masters, and up. The voice of your spirit guides and angels, and they will always respect your free will. If you don't ask for their intervention, they don't, unless you're like ready to die before your time. Then they will. I'm sure we've all heard of stories about divine intervention, right? And I gotta tell you, why is it, I got asked this actually today, what happens, after death for someone who commits suicide? Or, why is it, if all deaths are predestined, why is it that some people choose to go out, right? I truly believe that there's a reason why some people who try to check out, they can try 30 times, it's not gonna work. Someone's gonna find them, someone's gonna cut them down, someone's gonna pump their stomach, someone's gonna get there in time, because it's not their time. There will always be a divine intervention. Always. I know, because it happened to me and so many other people who made it a part of their path to come to the light. Why? Why did I have to stay here? I really don't like Earth. I'm going to be very honest. I don't want to come back here. I'm done with this. When I'm done, I'm done. But I needed to be able to be here so that I can teach people their light. If I wasn't here, how many people wouldn't be going to Sedona? How many people wouldn't have those huge experiences where they know they're not alone? If I wasn't here, I think to myself, I found 26 missing people now. I think to myself, thank you, Dad, for sacrificing yourself when you did, so that I can learn my lessons to help other people. That's the way I've turned it around. That's the way I live with myself every day. It took me 15 years to get there, right? And a whole lot of angelic and divine intervention. But there's a reason why I had to go through the bad stuff. Same thing with you guys in your life. It's not promised to be easy peasy. There's no one that comes out of this life unscathed. Not one person. Why is it that everyone has to die? Every single one of us has to experience death and losing loved ones. That's the clencher. That's the pain that I find it very hard to get over, is losing a loved one. But what made it that much more okay was when I could start to feel my dad around, feel my loved ones around, knowing that they are okay, knowing that if I even think of him, I can have that instant connection because they are pure thought form. And even though you guys cannot see it, if you guys could actually see what happens when your energy changes with your thoughts, it would look like misty smoke. If I was having a negative thought, it would look like misty gray, just oozing out of me like a cloud, right? You don't see it. But if you see auras, you would. And just because you don't see it doesn't mean it's not happening, right? Don't know why I went there, but anyways, we got to lift our vibration. That is the biggest thing. The voice of our spirit guides and angels, these voices are the quietest of all. They don't want to mess with your free will. They're very like this. They're very peaceful. They always give very loving messages, and that's how you know that you're in that realm. When it comes in, and it also doesn't sound like you. It's you giving yourself advice. That's what it feels like, you guys. Don't be fooled. It's not like you're going to hear this big Archangel Michael voice in your head. No. It sounds like you talking to you. But it's the best darn advice you're going to give yourself, right? And please don't give yourself enough. Give that credit to yourself, because it's not you. It is inspiration, in spirit. That's where we're going when we're connecting and getting ideas or, speaking to ourselves. We're connecting. So like those thoughts, when I have a positive thought, it triggers positivity to come to me in the universe. When I project negative thoughts, if your energy is loud enough, everyone in the room will feel it, right? So what are we projecting? What are we bringing? And the more we vibrate higher, the quicker you're going to see things manifest and be able to move quickly through things. You'll notice that you don't hang on to anger anymore. It takes a lot to really, really get under my skin, where I give it longer than the now. Like even 5 seconds from the now, if I'm thinking of something from 5 seconds from now, it's got to be really important. Really important. I'll give it my thoughts. There's a time and place for everything, and then it's gone. I suggest you guys do the same thing. Practice mindfulness. Meditation will help you get there. Staying in the now is where we are supposed to live. But honestly, how many of us have already, even with concentration, I'm sure a lot of you guys will go, oh, I forgot to start the dishwasher, or, oh, the kids' homework is due tomorrow, I got to do this, right? Instead of staying in the room. It's very easy. So just pull yourself back. When you feel yourself drifting off, pull yourself back. It is that easy. Put a filter on your head. That's the other thing I did. I read a book where it says, E Squared by Pam Grout. And she says, put a filter on, visualize yourself with a filter on your head and filter every single thought that goes through it. Pay attention. Become the observer of the voice that's in there so that you understand what transmissions are coming in. Because you are a radio signal, transmitting and receiving all the time, right? People popping into our heads. Well, guess what just happened? They just radio signaled you, right? We know things before they happen. Guess what you just did? You tuned into that realm where it's already happening, right? Quantum. The voice of your spirit guides, it's usually internal and it's experienced through meditation. How many of you guys know who your spirit guides are? How many of you guys have had any experiences with spirit guides? Okay, cool. We're gonna do a meditation where you're gonna get the name and meet your spirit guide. It's about time. It's about time. Now here's the thing, you guys. Every single one of you will get an image. You will get an image. And I'm not going to put that image in your head. You're going to put that image in your head. And you're going to get a name that pops into your head. I want you to understand that it's that simple. It drops in. It's going to feel like you're making it up, but guess what? Why did you go there? Why did you go to that name? Why did you go to that visual of that angel? Right? Why did you get that visual? When I say, okay, turn around and look at them. So I need you guys to trust yourself. Trust yourself for once and what you see. Because the more you trust what you see and don't second guess it was like the first time I did hypnosis. Or when I was hypnotized, it was like, but I feel like I'm making this up. I feel like I'm making it up. Yeah, it does. It does. But can I tell you something? That's how I find missing people. So it isn't making it up. If I can't visualize a person laying in a body of water, I know they're not dead in water. Or else I will not get a visual of them in there. I'll know that they're on land or somewhere else. Because your mind won't go there if there isn't truth to it when you're in that state of open communication. I won't show you anything that you're not ready for, right? So when we do it, I want you guys to trust and feel what it is that's coming in. You may also hear ringing in your ears. Your angels are very, very loud, my dear, because I keep hearing the ringing like you wouldn't believe. Have you been hearing the ringing too? So that's the thing. People may think it's tinnitus. No, it's not. That ringing in the ear that's happening, if it happens all the time, you might have a hearing problem, okay? I'll give you that. But when it's happening, I need you guys to start paying attention to that, because your angel is literally right beside you, and it is their frequency that your ear is picking up. It's a very high pitch. Why do you think that is? Because they're a high vibration, a very high vibrational frequency, right? So it will sound like that. What did you think they sounded like? Choirs of angels? Nah, to us it's perceived as ringing. It's a frequency. So when you're hearing that, know that there is divine communication happening, and you need to stop and pay attention to what it is that's coming in, right? Stop, look, and listen. When you hear that ringing, they need you to pay attention in that moment. So start paying attention to anything that's going through your head in that moment. Pay attention to your surroundings. If you're talking to someone, what are they saying? Is there a message there? Is there a purpose, right? But there's usually a reason to why it's ringing. The other thing about angels, too, is that they love to put us on scavenger hunts of signs. How many of you know what I'm talking about? Right? Wow, cool. And it is the funnest game I've ever played. And part of the game is, how can I make you 10% happier than before you met me? That's part of the game. There is rewards to the game, right? No one helps an asshole. I'll put it that way, right? So, name of the game. If you want to anchor in the light, bring in that light. Whoever you meet, your goal is to make them 10% happier, right? You want to know why? That's a trigger. That's the on switch to the signs, and it's almost like that trigger to the universe to go, okay, I'm ready to play the game. Here I am. So, little random acts of kindness, here's the other thing too, you don't know why that is being pressed on your heart in that moment. You do it. Some of you have probably heard me say this before, but it's probably one of the coolest examples of random acts of kindness. I usually go to the Tim Hortons that's right by my house in Walden, and there's a nursing home that's right next to it. And I was on my way to work, and on Mondays I buy the person their coffee that's behind me in line. I'm going to tell you something else in a minute too. Anyways, I buy them their coffee in line. So I paid for the coffee, and I drive away, and I'm sitting now at the light, and the car that I bought their coffee comes up right beside me, and he's like, unroll your window. So I unroll my window, and it's an elderly gentleman, and his eyes are very puffy, and he's bawling. You can see the tears running down his face. And he says to me, he goes, you have no idea what you just did for me. He goes, my wife just died 2 hours ago, and I've been sitting in the parking lot trying to hold it together, trying to pull it together so that I could drive home without her. And I figured I'd get a coffee on the way home. He goes, no one's ever bought me my coffee before, and I literally just asked her to give me a sign. So when I say, if it's in your heart to do it, please do it. I will always remember that man. Do you want to know why? Because I love telling that example. He made a difference in my life. My $2 coffee changed my story and my life so it can make a difference in yours. You see how that works? You see how we're all connected? You see? Right? So that's why it's so important when you feel it in the moment, do it. My God, do it. I'll give you another really, really good one. I don't mean to make everybody cry. Can you, Pat, the last row there, sorry. Another really good example of angels, and here's the other thing. Angels can manifest in human form. I absolutely had that happen to me. So my husband and I were in New York, and we had been there for family stuff, And his sister lives in New Jersey. So we were staying in New Jersey. We literally only had one night to go to New York out of the 10 days that we were there for. And I thought we were just going for the day, even though it was my birthday weekend. And Frenzo and his sister, my husband and his sister, packed up my overnight bag and left it in the car. And so when she dropped all of us off, I thought we were just going there for the day. Well, she comes back, picks up the kids, throws my bag out the door and says, "Have fun, you two. You're in New York for the night." So Frenzo went out and got a really, really expensive hotel right in Times Square. And as we're walking, we decided, okay, wow, we only have 24 hours, so we better stay awake. So it's 12:30 at night, and we decide, oh, what can we do? Central Park, horse and carriage ride in Central Park. So we're walking down, and we're out of luck. They're closed, they're gone for the night. Apparently it was a slow night, so they left early, because they're usually there until like 3 a.m. or something. And so we're walking back, and it was a chilly night. I still remember the coat that I was wearing. It was not quite the heavy Calgary parka, but the in-between one where you still look like you're freezing, but you're really warm. Anyways, so I'm walking down, and I'm holding hands with my husband, and we're just walking, and I look to my left, and there was a little old lady, probably the oldest lady I've ever seen in my life. I worked in gerontology and death and dying for 13 years. I've never seen a human being look as old as this lady. When she looked at me, when she finally looked at me, it was just like what you see in The Sixth Sense with the cataracts. Couldn't see. So I saw her. She wasn't asking for anything, right? She wasn't asking for money or anything. And all she had was a little blue towel to keep her warm. It was a chilly night. So I say to Frenzo, and I love my husband, I really do, but he's kinder to family. He helps the people close to him. I'm like, I know what y'all are worth. I'm going over here. I'm going to help the people who really need it, who don't even have a roof over their head. I'm going to help those, because I know you guys have roofs and cars and everything else, right? So I'm going to help them. So I'm walking along, and I say, Frenzo kind of, when we walk past her, he kind of does this to my hand, right? Like, get over here. It's unsafe. The man move. So I kind of take my hand back, and I say, oh, yeah, he keeps walking. I'm like, it's all good. I'm just grabbing my phone. I just want to take a picture of something, because I knew if he knew that I was giving a homeless person money, he'd look at me funny and be like, okay, come on, right? So anyways, I put, and all I had was like 5 $1 bills. It wasn't much. That's all I had with me, because we're walking in Central Park at 12:30 at night. I'm not carrying money with me. So I put it in my hand, and I quickly run over to her before he can go, oh, come on, let's go. Run over to her. And she's sitting there literally like this, and she didn't even look up at me at first. I don't even know if she felt me coming to her. But I very gently touched her hands and put the money in her hands. And that's when she looked up at me and said, "God bless you, child." And her eyes, they were like 200 years old. And instantly, I just went like this. I had to hug her. I had to hold her. I had to let her know that she had been seen. She had been seen. And I'm hugging her, and she just started crying. And she goes, "My dear," she goes, "you're going to get dirty. Don't." She goes, "No." And I hugged her harder. And I must have been there. To me, it felt like 10 minutes. But in reality, it was probably 30 seconds. But I hugged her. And what went through me, I have never experienced that in my life, ever, 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 ever. It was a jolt, a heavenly, the most divine light, that even just talking about it, I'm getting goosebumps, because it was so amazing, that sensation. I truly 1000% believe I hugged an angel, and I'll tell you why. So all of a sudden, I get this jolt. I'm going now. Before I was tired after sightseeing all day. My husband's not getting anything. I'm going to bed. I'm exhausted. Well, all of a sudden, it was like 10 Red Bulls hit my system. So I skip back to him. He just looks at me. So it was like this wrath came over me. Like, how dare you? How dare you? And I looked at him and I said, I just put $5 in my karmic piggy bank. So you watch what God does for me. You watch, mister, what God does for me. And so we go back to the hotel. He ends up getting laid that night. So yay for that. That was the best $5 ever spent there, right? I didn't have the energy before. Women or ladies, you guys know what I'm talking about. When you're tired, you're tired. So anyways, the next morning, I sleep like a baby. I can't remember how Frenzo slept, but whatevs. So we go back to this really expensive, like 2x2 hotel room. Never go and rent anything in Times Square. Like literally, it's a closet. They're micro, $659 American for like a closet, the size of a closet. Anyways, so we go, we have sex in the closet, we sleep great. It's great. So the next morning I wake up and I take longer to get ready. So I shower, I have a nice hot shower, I do my hair, and all of this. I'm great, I'm ready. Packed up, ready to go. Frenzo goes to get in the shower. He has a cold shower. Then the lights went out. And I'm laughing. I'm already snickering, going, really? That is so cool. So anyways, he comes out of the bathroom, not impressed, but whatever, we're leaving, right? So I'm all ready. I don't care. I'm the one with the hair. He's missing it on top, so what does he care, right? So we go downstairs, we go to the checkout. And this wonderful, flamboyantly gay guy behind the counter, he goes to check us out. And he's joking around that we're Canadian and everything. And then Frenzo pipes up and he goes, oh yeah, by the way, our lights went out and I had a cold shower. And he went like, oh my God, we cannot have that. You are a guest here. This is your first time in New York. He just went off like, oh, I have to get the manager. We have to do something for you. So I'm thinking, okay, continental breakfast, right? Continental breakfast, that's all. The manager, who's just as beautifully over the top gay, goes, oh my God, we're comping the night. You're not paying for anything. We can't have that. And because they were doing construction in the hotel, and he sits there and he explains that there was 3 rooms that lost power that morning. The other 2 were empty. So when he comes back, I'm thinking he's going to say complimentary breakfast. He comped the whole night. $6.59 American. So as he's saying this, do you see what God does for me? Do you see what God does for me? Do you see what God does? I'm literally doing this in the middle of the, and it's packed in there. So they're looking at me like I'm crazy, and Franz is just shaking his head. As he's shaking his head, my cell phone rings. About 6 months before, I knew we were going to New York, but I didn't know what days we would be there. And when you apply for any cool tickets like the David Letterman show or the Jay Leno or anything, you have to give them 5 dates that you will be there at the drop of a dime if they call you for tickets. We were only going to be in New York 1 day out of the whole 10 that we were there for, right? Well, as I'm waving my finger, bloody cell phone rings. It's a David Letterman show. Come pick up your 2 tickets to tonight with Tom Hanks. And it was one of his last shows that we got to see because he retired shortly after that. So it was literally, and I forgot to mention the $50 bill that I found that paid for our lunch. It just kept getting better and better. I was on cloud 9. It was like, thank you for not letting me down because I would have looked really stupid. But that's the thing. When you have faith, it comes. It comes. They can't wait to show you that you've got their support. It's just, do you recognize it? So here's the coolest thing. How do I know that lady was an angel? So when I was doing the remote viewing course, in one of the meditations that we did, the instructor said, okay, now in order to raise your vibration, I want you to go to your most loving memory, the one that floods you, whether it's a family member, whether it's a lover, a child, an animal. Embrace that. What is it? And I didn't think of my husband. I didn't think of my kids. My instant first memory that I went to, my highest vibration of unconditional love that I've ever felt in my life was hugging a homeless person. That lady on the stoop is who I saw in my meditation. And that's whose arms I went into when I was in that meditation, embracing the light. It was her. It was her. And the crazy thing was I hadn't thought about her for so long. So why would she pop into my head? Why? Right? Out of the blue. Go to your highest vibrational love. It's not my husband. Sorry, friendzo. I love you. But that's where my subconscious went to, right? Was her. So I know in my heart of hearts, and when I connected again to that energy, that flood came over me again. And I felt it all over again. So let me tell you, when I tell you this stuff's real, just be open to the experience. Just be open to the experience. Ask every day. Set the intention. If you need to put it as an alarm in your phone, do it. It's that important, you guys. I cannot tell you how important it is. When I'm on my way to work, and I literally live like 3.5 minutes away, if I don't say my prayers in the morning on my way to work, you can call it prayer, meditation, state of stillness, whatever you want to call it. I don't care. It's the same thing. We're arguing over the language. That's all. It's the same state. So if I don't remember my prayer on the way to work, it doesn't come. My exact words, and this is, I don't care if you use Creator, Ultimate Universe, Buddha, Allah, it doesn't matter, you guys. All paths that lead to the light, we got to honor them. We got to honor them. We got to respect each other's differences and just be part of that light. Be part of the solution, not part of the problem. We can feel it when problems are coming at us versus solutions, right? So be part of that light and watch your life change. But if I don't say my prayers, it doesn't come. I get all discombobulated. I start seeing like weird stuff. And I was like, what? Like, it's weird stuff. Like, I'll see what you ate for dinner instead of seeing your dead dad. You know what I mean? So my exact words that I use, because I was brought up Christian, was, Lord, use me as an instrument of your peace. Work through me. Use me. Work through me. Let me be your medium. Right? And then it just comes. So if you set the intention to lift up everyone that you meet, even if it's just 2% higher, 2% better, well, guess what? Those 2% add up. They do. They do. It might be 2% here, 10% here, right? We all know those people that give us 10%, right? Versus 2%. Hang around them more. Get rid of the people that drag you down and leave you in the deficit, right? And if you must be around negative Nellies, do the same thing. Call on your light. You guys have warrior angels. Each and every one of us have warrior angels. Use them. Use them. If you are going into a scary situation or you don't like someone's energy, put on that shield of protection, right? Put on that shield of protection. Don't go out there unprotected. That's how we feel beaten down. That's when we feel completely drained, but yet we didn't really do anything during the day. We just hung out with people. Why do you think we feel drained? Because people can drain us just as much as circumstances or physical exertion can drain us, right? So don't hang around the vampires anymore. It's being highlighted to you right now for a reason. So if there's people that need to leave your life, bless them on their way and be done with it. Wait. What else do I need to talk about? Oh. Okay. Okay, we covered the voice for spirit guides. I'll do this really quick. We did sort of touch on it. It's the quietest of all. They are often heard from the right side of the body. Even in the Bible, it talks about how Jesus stands to the right. So Anyways, you'll feel it. A lot of the time, your angels and the light, you'll feel it kind of come on the right side. And it'll kind of go down the right side, almost like goosebumps, right? You'll feel it a lot of the time. Now, it's not to say that if you're feeling something to the left that it's evil. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, for whatever reason, well, I know why. Because it's the right side of the brain that they come in through, right? Our left brain logic has no connection with spirit. It's when we tune into that creative center, the right side of the brain. That's when we're up here. The more woo-woo we are up here, believe it or not, you're higher up there to spirit, and you can hear it more. It's the same thing with in your dreams, or if you're ever having an outer body experience, you cannot perceive letters or numbers in an outer body state. because you're not in your left brain. You have to be in your right brain to induce that state. So any left brain stuff, you're not going to perceive it. You'll know it's a number, but you won't see what it is. Does that make sense? So, spirit, you feel it on the right. Probably because we're using the right side of our brain. Yes?
What's the difference in spirit guides and angels? And can your loved ones be cleared out?
No. No. Good question. No. Your past loved ones, I'll put it this way. If we go to the vibration that which we are, and we have the intelligence of the vibration that we have here, right? And that's why there is reincarnation where we have to come back and learn, right? But no, a soul is a soul is a soul. They don't gain wings. It's a completely different realm. Now, spirit guides, we can, how do I explain this? Spirit guides and loved ones often stand very, very close to us. And so we'll feel their, how do I explain this? We'll feel their information come through, right? We'll know. Same thing with like dropping dimes. They'll make it physical. If they're having a hard time gaining our attention, they'll start doing the physical things, like the feathers or the dimes, or, you know what I mean? The numbers, the 1111. You okay, Mel? Yeah. I know. I'm sorry if your bums are numb, guys. Did anyone need to shake out your bums yet? No? Cheap chairs. Sorry. They stand very close to you. They are your closest system or team of guidance, right? And our loved ones can join in that realm, or how do I explain that? Their communication can sometimes feel the same as a spirit guide. But a spirit guide is someone that, or a spirit who has signed up to watch over you, not just in this lifetime, but in all of your lifetimes. And there's different ones. We, at different points in our life, we can actually have different spirit guides come in who know different things, right? Because just like we can specialize in something, like becoming a doctor or a lawyer, they can specialize too in certain things over there. So if someone needs healing, we'll say, they can have that main focus, if that makes sense. So even when you do spirit guide meditations, I have 4 different spirit guides. And the more I got to know them, the more I got to know they do have personalities. They do actually look like human beings. They really do. They look like human beings. They don't. Angels, the way I see them is sparks of light flying everywhere like this. Literally, they look like, I don't know, sperm flying everywhere, right? That's how, the only way I can explain it. And it's tangible. It's right in front of you. Whereas with spirit guides, they can appear as a person. Angels, you'll see the light around them. Spirit guides can look just like us. Does that make sense? No. Past loved one, they can guide you, but they're not specially your spirit guide, if that makes sense. They're completely, totally different job. It's like the vice principal and the teacher, or the principal and the teacher. It's just different jobs, right? Different realms.
When we do our meditation, we won't necessarily know them from.
No, you'll feel them come in. You'll feel them come in. Okay, so what else do I need to teach you guys really quick? Like I said, the biggest thing is the feeling. And here's the other thing. They know you. They know what will catch your attention. So they will purposely do things to catch your attention, like a certain song. And loved ones who know you will do that too. You're thinking of them, and then boom, their song comes on the radio. Or a song with a message to the words that you needed to know the answer to, the question that you had before you listened to the song, and there's the answer. Yeah, that's them giving it to you right there, right? Another big one, you guys, repetitive messages. If one person mentions a book, and then another person mentions a book, and then you see an ad for the book, go get the bloody book. Go listen to the signs. They will continue to repeat themselves on autopilot until you get what you need to receive. So, does anyone have any questions before? Actually, no. Wait, yeah, go. Yeah, no. All right, go ahead.
Aside, peripheral.
Peripheral.
Constantly, I think that someone's there, I'm jumping.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing so much peripheral, and sometimes, like now I'm all about light source, but
Yeah.
sometimes I have to say, you're not welcome. Get out.
Feel it. Always feel it. Right there. Right there.
So
Feel
what
it.
is like, I'm just like,
Well, they're everywhere.
but the
Spirits are everywhere. We just can't feel it, right? And a lot of the time we do catch stuff out of our peripheral, right? And if you don't know what it is or it makes you feel creepy, call it out. And ask who it is, or immediately ask for protection and say you are not welcome here, right? But I know that the first time I ever experienced an angel, I was oh my God. And then the peace washed over me. So it can be a little intimidating or scary when you don't know what it is, right? But the reason why I said it's not just in your peripherals when you see angels is because it's like they're everywhere. Some people think that, oh no, it's just stuff that I'm seeing out of my peripherals. No, you can see them like in front of you as well too.
So the peripheral stuff can just be.
It can be divine, or it can be anything. It can be a deceased person, not just a loved one, because all of us are individual souls. All of us die, right? We do, and we can come back and check on people. We totally can. Same thing with animals. So it may be that you've opened yourself up enough that you're seeing the activity out of the corner of your eye, but yet your mind isn't registering it when you're looking at it like this. Yeah. Yeah. And that's all you need to do. Surround yourself with white light. Set that intention. But your spirit guides, your angels, the ascended masters, they are all the light. They are all the light. I do not want anyone in here touching anything dark. How do you know it's dark? Feel it. It's that easy. Feel it. When I even say the word Ouija board, how does it feel? Right? Don't touch it. Don't touch it. Do you want to know why it's evil? Not because of the board that it's made on. Not because it's from Hasbro or anything like that. It's the connotation that over time we have imprinted. Oop, that's evil. Oop, that's a doorway for negative energy. Because we have imprinted that energy on this piece of wood or piece of cardboard, guess what? It's going to vibrate to that. And guess what it's going to do? It's going to attract other things that vibrate to that, to the fear. There's a lot of, like, kids or, they'll play with it out of, ooh, spooky on a Saturday night. It's not a game. They will give you what you're looking for. It's not a game. Now, can it be used for the light? Absolutely it can. Pray over it, salt it, do everything to cleanse the energy off of it. Salt it, yeah. Sage it. That absolutely, absolutely works. I still wouldn't use it as that kind of divination tool, to be honest with you, right? Because again, even when it's saged, my higher self is going, yeah, no, walk away. No, use your head, right? Because why bother? Why? It's kind of like doing something when you already know, no, I really shouldn't. So you got to listen. When that voice is happening in there, just listen to it. Don't play with stuff like that. It's the energy that all of us, the collective consciousness, has put on that device. That's the only reason why it's evil. We've perceived it, therefore it is so. It is the energy that we have put out to it. Does that make sense? Okie dokie. Any other questions? Any other questions? Because we're going to meditate and then I'm going to open it up to questions. Does anyone have to go? No? Does anyone want to shake their bum out or anything? It's okay if you got to shake your bum. Shake your bum. Shake your bum. I bet you it's numb. Those chairs aren't padded very well. Just don't turn around unless you want to be on Facebook land. Okay. Give your bum a shake. You do that well. Okay, now you got to sit down. And can I get you to just dim the lights for me a little bit there? Thanks. A little more. There we go. Is that okay, Jade? Can you still see me? Okay, good. Okay, yeah, give it a stretch. Okay, and I'm gonna get you to actually close the door for this one, just so we're not hearing the outside in case there's anything. Okie dokie. So I want you to just get comfortable, settle your bum in. I want you to take a nice big deep breath in, cleansing white breath. With every breath, I want us to set the intention of bringing in the light, of being the light, of anchoring in the light, exuding the light. And I want you to just see the room slowly fill up with the vibrations of our angels. They're still here, listening, watching. They're with you. So I want you to feel them come back in. Connect with that energy. Feel the support of your guardian angels who stand directly behind you. With every breath, I want you to breathe in the light and breathe out any negativity, any hurt. Let it go on the out breath. Just breathe it out. On the inhale, we see that light move through us, our organs, our body. And on the exhale, breathing out any tension, any low energy that just needs to go. Just see it transmuted into the light. Now in your mind's eye, I want you to see the roof opening up to the most beautiful, clear blue sky. And as you look up, you can see the twinkling in the air, all the angelic energy that is just pouring down around you. You're in the presence of angels. Feeling that energy swirling all around you as it comes down from that crystal blue sky. And in the distance, you can hear the water of a babbling brook. And I want you to, in your mind's eye, walk over. See the green grass, the beautiful green grass. See the stream of crystalline water pouring down. Feel the serenity and the peace that washes over you in this sacred space, connecting you with your heart, connecting you with your spirit and your higher self, integrating all the parts of you. Feel that peace of the moment. And as you look to your right, you see the most beautiful golden bench that is sitting right by the stream. You can hear the birds. You can feel the freshness on your skin. Feel the sunlight as it cleanses you. And in your mind's eye, walk over to that golden bench. Know that it's just for you. Everything around you vibrates at such a high, beautiful rate, the rate of light, the rate of love. See yourself fully cocooned in the most peaceful energy. And as you walk over and you sit on the golden bench, there's a pathway to your left. And in your mind's eye, you can see someone walking down this path. They're coming towards you. Note if they are male or female. Notice their energy, the peace, the love that they exude as they come closer. As they walk over to you, they sit down right beside you on the bench. This is your spirit guide. This is your spirit guide. This is one of your guidance team members that are here to support you, that know you since before you were born. They walk with you every day. They feel familiar as you sit next to their energy. Feel their energy. Connect. As you turn and look and see who's there, they have a message for you. They want you to know them. That is why you are there, in your mind's eye, sitting on the golden bench. Ask them their name and listen. The first name that you feel come in is their name. This is their vibratory signature. This is someone that you can connect with. They have a gift for you. Something is in their hands. You see the most gorgeous white box with white satin ribbon sitting on their lap in their hands. And they slowly pick it up and hand it to you. Notice how it feels in your hands. What does it look like? As you turn your attention to now the curiosity of what's in the box. It's a sign, it's a gift. It's a symbol that only you will understand. It is a gift from Spirit. You may not understand it at this time, but it is a message and a gift. So when you're ready, take the lid off of that beautiful box and take a look inside. What's in there? What do you see? What does it feel like to have that gift, to know that there is a message behind the symbol of the present? What does your guide have to say? What do you want to ask them? Take a moment now and ask them, paying attention to any flashes of inspiration that pop through your mind, any images. They speak in images. What would you like to know? There is something very familiar about this being that is here to walk this path with you. There is something very sacred about this being. And by connecting with them, you allow them to do their job, which is assisting you in doing yours. Feel the ripples of peace and love come from just sitting in their presence, knowing that their divine energy is here to assist you, to heal you, to help you grow. Knowing that you can come back to this place, this golden bench, where you can hear the streams of water and smell the grass. You may come back here at any time. Feel their presence anytime you ask. Know that you can take this present with you. It's a message. As you come to a close of your time with your spirit guide, you thank them for the presence that they have in your life, knowing that their love, that their divine presence is always connected to you. Always. Embrace them. Feel the love of the heart-to-heart connection as you fully feel their love. It never ends. It never leaves. It's always there. And when you're ready, come back. Come back to the now. I didn't want to pull you guys out of it, but they're tearing down the office because they're making me a bigger one. I'm expanding and I forgot they do the construction at night. So it would have been a lot better if there wasn't the banging, but how many of you guys heard a name? So cool, so cool. How many? Let me see the hands again. So cool. So cool. Then you got 2 working with you. You called in 2. Did you? Yeah, you? Oh, I'll tell you something. When we've got this many people in a room, you've called in the big guns. You've called in the more than one. I'll put it that way. So that's really cool. So could you now here's the other thing. Could you feel a difference in personalities of the 2? Right on. Right on. Is that easy, you guys? Is that easy? Doesn't it feel like you made it up? Well, guess what? That's how I find dead people. Oh, it's not. It feels like I'm just imagining it. It feels like a memory. It's weird. But the more you do this stuff, the more you're going to see that you're not just making it up. You're picking it up for a reason. You envisioned it like that for a reason. Right? How many of the... yes?
What happens if, okay, so the name came to me and then, is that my ego that's like, oh no, that's not it?
That's you going, oh no, that's not the name.
Okay, yeah.
That's you going, oh no, that's
And
not the
then I
name.
got a second name, but I did this since the second person.
I got a second name. Oh, okay. So when you go home, do this. Go back into this state and even play this on Facebook. Go back into the meditation and go, okay, now who are you? Right? Because they're only going to give you as much as you can handle. They don't want to bombard you. Oh, what a beautiful pendant. Sorry, I was like, oh, I keep staring at it. They don't want to bombard you, right? They'll give you what you can understand in this moment.
But even that was very emotional.
Yes. Yeah, there's a lot of people in here with tears. Guess what? That's what it feels like to release. And you have no idea how much you've been holding that in. This is a safe space. Can you guys feel the peace in here? It feels awesome, hey? It really does. That's what it feels like when angels are around. That's what it feels like. So that's why I say, like, the only difference between a skeptic and a believer is the experience.
So when I meditate, I always get like a fuzzy feeling or like a buzzing, like a energy feeling.
Yes, or like waves.
Yeah, when I finish
Yeah.
meditating near the end of it, I always get this like, you feel like you're not vibrating.
You're lifting.
Yeah.
Yep, you're totally shifting, going up in vibration. That's exactly what it feels like. The more you do it, the higher you're going to go. And there's, oh my God, it's endless. It's endless what you can experience when you know that you have the power within you. So I wanted to ask if there was any other questions. Yeah.
I heard two people too, that I thought that I just couldn't get a date right now. I was making it up.
No.
But I saw someone walking, but that wasn't the person who was sitting next to me. That person was disappeared, and I was getting really confused. So that's why I said.
That was probably the second person that you got the name of, right? So, and you can tune in at any time and ask for them to come back and reintroduce themselves. Say, okay, who are you? I want to see your face too. Did you get a face or did you get a, like, whether it was male, female, blonde, brunette? It was clear, right?
She said the path, she was there, I could see, and that's my emotional because I just felt overwhelming love.
Yeah.
Like, she had long gray hair, I couldn't tell if she was Native American, but she was darker. And it's
Beautiful.
like, whoa,
What was the name you got?
Irene.
There you go. You got it.
The
It's
other
that
one
simple.
was Patchwani, and I'm like, what?
Okay, so you've got some ancient wisdom coming in.
Yeah, because where would that name come from?
Exactly. Exactly. So yeah, you know what? I would Google that name and see if it, because there are angels that will do that, where they'll give you a name, then you look it up and it's like we'll say angel of God or angel of healing, or you know what I mean? And it's pretty intense when you realize that it wasn't you making it up. When you go to look it up, you'll see that. So hang on to that name and Google it. I would if I were you. Look and see if there's a definition to it. Yeah.
Our loved ones come into our meditation in a certain way?
Yes. They give so many different signs. Like, they come in so many different ways. Whereas with angels, it's like the difference, I guess, between, how do I explain this? Spirit guides are with us all the time, right? Loved ones, they are off doing their thing. They're not walking with us all the time. They're not. So does that make sense? So and here's the thing, when we call on them, they're there like that. It's intuitive, it's right there, that instant connection. Now, when they want to get our attention, that's when they'll drop the dimes, drop the feathers, the ladybugs, you know what I mean? Do something that we personally equate with their energy, right?
Like I always get the same smell of perfume.
Yeah.
At first I thought, oh, I'm sweating, I smell good. You know,
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
your perfume good, but
Yeah.
I was perfume. But I opened, then I realized, no, I get that all the time.
That's right. Is it a very sweet, calming
It's a really
smell?
sweet smell.
It's probably one of your angels coming in with sweet smell. They do. They smell very like this, not pungent or yeah. Oh, and it might be Andrea's perfume. Who knows? But chances are, if it's the same smell, they will come in with signature moves, if that makes sense. It's getting really hot in here. Do you want to open that and we'll just crack that open too? Combination there's a lot of people in, or you can like open it if you want. Energy, everything is energy, and we all have guides working with us. We all have teams that you can't see, and they all bring in a heat with them. So, does anyone else have any other questions? It's almost 9, so I feel really bad for keeping you guys. If you need to go, like babysitters or anything, please, I will not be offended. I want to be conscientious of your guys' time. But I could talk about the stuff all night, so if your bums aren't numb, you don't need to go. Yes?
So you feel like you really just downloaded info, and you're all of a sudden you're like, I just tapped into something.
Yeah.
Is that my higher self, or is it outer source?
Well, it all depends. You know what? It's funny because I just heard that question answered earlier today, and it says it shouldn't matter who it's coming from as long as you know it's the light source, right? As long as you know it's coming from the same divine guidance team. Because here's the thing: over time, you will be able to determine the difference, right? The more you meditate, the more you get to know them. So when you meditate, go back to that being that you saw. Sit down on that golden bench with them again. Go back into that tonight and say, come on, get your butt back here. We're not done having this conversation. I just had to pull you out of it because they're tearing down walls next door, and that's annoying when you're trying to meditate. But try it. Go back into that. They will reintroduce themselves. They will. Make sense? Yeah. Yes.
I have a lot of things that come to me, and then I have a few things that I'm trying to deal with. But when I get the message, is it okay to just be like, hey, and tell them? Or do
You mean for another person?
Yeah.
Um,
I get a lot of messages, and like sometimes I break them down so that I know I'm not crazy.
That's cool, and so that you can do it for your own validation. I never, ever, ever read for anyone without their permission.
Okay.
The reason why is when the more you do this, the more you'll know, and you'll know it like this. If someone is a rapist, if someone has committed murder, if someone is sleeping with someone they shouldn't be, or infidelity, you'll see it all eventually. You'll see it all. And the thing is that sometimes that's not higher information, right? So when I do a reading, I will literally get their energetic permission. Can I use you for a second? No, you don't need to stand up. What I'll do is I'll get them to firmly plant their feet on the ground. I will hold their hands. We will both close our eyes, and we take 3 deep breaths. I count them out so we can line up our breath, and that is my permission to go into your energy. When I do this on my breaths, I'm asking God to come and bless this union, our almighty creator, to come and bless this, to show me what these people need to know to live their best lives. I'm asking my spirit guides, your spirit guides, to have a powwow and come and show me what these people need to know. Turn up the volume. Show me in symbols that I can understand, because I'm kind of blonde, and unless you spell it out for me, I'm not necessarily going to know, right? And then on the 3rd breath, I'm asking my angels, come, guard, guide, protect us, wipe this office, or the person that I'm reading, wipe any negativity off, get it out of the room, and then I go. You don't want to go into someone else's energy unprotected, because you don't know what can stick with you. Even though you have the highest of intentions, right? It may be an unwanted message. So unless it's like life or death, or if they want to know it, Like, I have read for strangers where I will go up to them and say, I'm so sorry, I'm a psychic medium, and I do have a really pressing thing that I need to tell you. And a lot of people are open, but you also risk going, you're nuts, I want, go away, right? Usually Spirit won't put you in that direction so that you can experience that, but it's still, I only do readings here. The other thing too, I never do readings for friends or family, ever. You can't be honest with them. You can't. If I saw my sister having breast cancer, how would I have been able to tell her, right? You can't. Whereas if it's someone who's a client, they've come to you to know what's going on in your life. They're asking for your professional advice. So I say what I see. No matter what it is, I say what I see. Because when I do my 3D breaths, I'm only asking for information of the highest good to come in. Only information of the highest good. I have seen and predicted pregnancies right down to the day of conception. Almost to the hour of conception. Didn't see the miscarriage. Didn't see the miscarriage. Sometimes people aren't supposed to know things, right? They're just not, it's not their time to know it. So I'm very respectful, and then I get a break. All my friends know, if you cross over into my friend zone, we're done. You've got to find yourself another psychic. Now, if something really pressing comes up, I will say it, but they can't use me for an hour. No. I'm very you gotta be protective of your energy, right? So just be careful who you're giving messages to. Make sure that it's wanted, I guess. Yeah. Anyone else have any questions? No? Aw, that means that it's 9:00. Thank you guys so much for coming. Okay, whoever wants to stay for the Q&A with Facebook, was there questions? If anyone on Facebook land would like to know any questions, fire away right now. I'm going to stick around and answer your questions for the next 5 minutes. So for anyone who has to go, thank you so much for being a part of this light group tonight. You were absolutely meant to be here. Absolutely meant to be here tonight. Sorry, what was that? Oh, yes, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for that meditation, that negative energy meditation.
Oh.
It got me through a good rough spot, really, really good.
Nice.
Listen to it every night.
Oh, that's awesome to hear. Thank you for mentioning that. I will repost it on my Facebook, but I recorded a guided meditation that has a whole pile of binaural beats in the background, geared to help you get into that meditative space really quickly, brainwave therapy. And then it's got me and my voice guiding you through the meditation. A lot of people tell me that they fall asleep to it or can't make it to the end. Is there anyone else who falls asleep to it at night? I love hearing that you guys use it. You have no idea how happy that makes me. You have no idea how happy that makes me. So I will repost it on Facebook. It's a chakra clearing and healing meditation. So it's great to fall asleep to. Okay, so yeah, thank you. Okay, now questions out in Facebook land.
Well, first of all, someone told you on Facebook to watch it back at hour 1 and minute 11. So at 1:11.
111 is my. No,
There's
way.
orbs all around you at
Yay.
that time in the video. She says, go watch
Okay.
the video because they can see it.
So I have 1111 tattooed on my foot. 1111 is my number. So that's
So this
really
is
cool.
at 1:11. In this video, they said there was little orbs all around you to watch back the video.
Cool. Thank you.
Somebody
Super cool.
wanted to know if you were her teacher at GP Vanier School.
No.
Okay.
No.
I thought it was funny
I'm a
too.
mom, but no.
Natasha Turner asks, I see 333 all the time. Any
The
idea
Trinity.
what that might mean?
Yeah, that's the Trinity. It's showing you that you're working very closely with the ascended masters such as Jesus, the Holy Spirit, God Himself. When you see 333, it's a good number. It's supportive. It's you have the support that you need. It's coming in. You just gotta wait. That's what that means. And Doreen Virtue has an excellent, well, I guess she's denounced all of it now, so I don't really want to even say go look in her book, because she doesn't believe in angel numbers, and it is by belief, so don't buy her book. But there's a lot of websites that you can just literally go spiritual meaning of 333, spiritual meaning of 444. Joanne's Sacred Scribes. That one's, yes, you're right. That one is a really good one that gives an extensive lowdown of what the numbers mean, because definitely they have a vibration. Numbers definitely have a vibration. Go look it up. Go look it up. It's very spiritual. 3 o'clock, yeah. And for the nurses in the room, for anyone who has had to work, unfortunately, in end-stage care, if you've noticed, a lot of the deaths happen between 3 and 5 a.m. And a lot of people will say, okay, well, there's a spiritual connotation behind that, but actually, here's the science behind it. The dew point in the air is heaviest between 3 and 5. So people who have respiratory problems, who find it hard to breathe, that's what's happening. Between 3 and 5, the dew point is the heaviest. So if you're going to have time struggling with oxygen, it's between that time. Yeah.
Teresa Weeb wants to know if spirit guides can visit us in our dreams.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. That's a lot. So we let down our defenses when we're dreaming. We're in a defenseless state, right? So it's very easy for loved ones to come through in dreams. It's like an open door, because your subconscious is or your conscious mind is what slams the door, right? You open up your subconscious going into that dream state, and oh yeah, you can see your passed away animals, loved ones, spirit guides, angels. Oh yeah, pay attention to your dreams, definitely.
Okay, and one last question. Laura asks about hummingbirds. She's had hummingbirds visit her, and also in Mexico,
That
walking
is
on the
spirit.
beach, she felt like shells were actually coming to her. Like,
being led, yeah. So obviously, there is something that is very cleansing about the ocean that she's needing right now. I can feel that. Just really quick tune in. And things are being washed away. And so with hummingbirds, they are very, very light energy, very fast energy. You look at their wings, they're very fast. Guess what that is? A very high frequency, right? So hummingbirds, I truly believe hummingbirds, and same thing with cats, are from spirit or connected to spirit. Because with the hummingbirds, it's their vibration. Cats, their eyes, they can see in the dark. They can see spirit. They can see what we can't see, right? And that's why, you'll see your cat going like this all over the place, and running, looking like they're chasing something. There's no flies in the house, right? They can see into those realms. They can see all the orbs. And that's really cool that something was caught on tape. I can't wait to watch it. I love that stuff. But it's cool because, again, they can see what the camera can see. It's a different frequency. So it's different frequencies of light that cats can perceive that we can't.
Yeah.
So, yeah, hummingbirds are absolute little... And same thing with butterflies and ladybugs. Ladybugs are usually spirit guides. White butterflies are usually the angelic energy or your loved one's energy.
okay. And Charla Ross just wanted
I
you to
love
know.
Charla. Hi, Char. We miss you here in Calgary.
She said
All
she
your
misses
favorite peeps are
you
here.
and everyone, but she said she has seen her spirit guide before in your guided meditations, but she received his name tonight.
Oh, yes!
She said Najit is the name and doesn't know if you have any input, but just via Facebook she received his name.
That is so cool. That is so rad. We miss you, Char. We love you. All your faves are here. Millie's here. Everybody's here. Anyways, that's awesome. Go back into the meditation if you want. Replay my crazy tape and go back in and go deeper. And the more you communicate with your spirit guides, the more it's going to get really real. Really, really real. Where it almost becomes like an imaginary friend. Why do you think children have imaginary friends? It's their guides. It's their angels or their guides that they're perceiving. Children can see spirit. It's as we grow up and become more dense and become part of this world, right? That's when we lose our inner eye. And just so you know, like when people talk about the third eye cleansing, the third eye, all this stuff, what they're talking about is your ability to perceive the ability to close your eyes. So whoever's here, close your eyes for a second. Just do me the one before you go. Close your eyes. I want you to visualize a red apple. Visualize a red apple. If you were to bite into it, you can feel the sweetness. You can taste it in your mouth, right? I bet your salivary glands are even going a little bit. You can feel the sourness of that apple, right? You can see the apple. Now I want you to change it to a green triangle. Green triangle. Now blue square. See the blue square. Now in your mind's eye, see Patricia, the blonde that has taken up the last 2 hours of your life. Okay. Now open your eyes. How many people could see the apple? Right? How many people could see the triangle? How many people could perceive me and could still see me? That is using your third eye, people. You just used your third eye. It's that easy. It is that easy. The same way you can close your eyes and see me standing here in the white shirt and the gray pants and a little silly mic on my face. It's tuning into your third eye. That's what they mean by using your third eye. So when you practice that, practice tuning in. Here's the other thing. If your hubby or someone that you're really close to, that you have a heart-to-heart connection with, like you two resonate very well together, I must say. So very, very patient, loving lady. You got a good catch there. Anyways, and vice versa. But she knows you. She knows you. And had it been any other lady, they wouldn't have gotten you because you're very like this, right? So it takes a special person to be able to unlock that door and open it up. So you two, because you guys have that energy coming out of both your hearts and around you, I know she's just like me. I know she can get you to call her. She'll pop into your head, correct?
She was thinking about Chinese food last night and I said, hey, you want Chinese food?
There you go. There you go. And you think that's coincidence, don't you? You pass it off. Okay, perfect. Good. Most men would. They'd be like, oh, what is that, right? But it is that easy to tune into your partner and be able to understand them. And that's the other thing. When we have the capacity to understand their feelings, it changes things, you guys. It's so much easier to let go of the BS, the heartache, the ouchies, the fights, because that's what blocks you, right? And the more you naturally tune in, using your third eye, using your chakras, sending out that love, send out that love. I gotta tell you, distant energy healings, it works. That person will get it. Yeah, Tammy.
What's the difference between spirit animals and the human form?
Okay, so can I ask your husband to answer that question for me? And the reason why I ask is I'm going to be honest. I don't know what my spirit animal is, and I see deceased animals, but I don't know if it's a cultural thing or if, it is a belief system because it's a realm. I would be honored if you would answer that for me because I know you do know the answer to that. You gotta speak up a bit though.
The difference between for us human beings, they say we're the only two-legged. They say we don't know our direction here on Earth. Every other being, the four-legged, the ones that swim, they all know their purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so when those other beings, when they're called for help, if they are attached to a certain being to help them, because they said that they were the first ones to advocate for us, to ask for.
Okay. And what about a spirit totem animal? Are they the same? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
they all have a certain meaning.
How many of you guys in here know your spirit animal? Okay, that is really cool, and that's something that I want to explore because I don't know my spirit animal. Yeah.
You can also have visiting spirit animals because they have a message. So if you're like, hi, look it up, Google it.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, and I do know that not just spirit guides, but animals can lead us. Totally, spirit works through animals to lead us. Whether it's the eagle that you need to see right at that moment, You know what I mean? So if that does happen to you, look it up. So here's a big one. You never see owls in this city, right? And you think that owls means wisdom? No, it doesn't. It means be careful of deception. Yeah, it means you're being deceived. You know that too, right? So there is messages behind these animals. Look it up. Yeah.
Funny little story, but randomly the other, last year, there was flapping in my backyard, and I was like, what is that? And I went to my backyard, and there was like an injured duck, and he was trying to get out of my yard. And I was like, oh my god, baby, 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 and I'm trying to get him out, and then I finally got the door open, because he kept flapping on my house, and I was like, you're getting hurt. And when I looked up duck, it said they can enter both dimensions and stuff. So,
I believe it. I believe that birds can.
I have one
That's
for
why they can
owl.
fly. Yeah.
My boyfriend, I was ex-boyfriend, I was around his house and there always saw this big owl sitting on like his garage and stuff, and he was around all the time. And then I recently found out he was a real bad narcissist, and he was just mean to me and everything. So that was kind of like maybe.
Makes sense,
Yes.
right? Hindsight's 20/20, but that's how we learn. That's how we grow, right? We got to go through it in order to understand it.
This is gonna be kind of I've had an experience the last few days. It was something very, very different. I went to sleep and I was here, and then I see myself from here going to the other side.
Mm-hmm.
And just when I went to the other side, I felt like something, like a blanket, energy going right through me. It startled me. It was almost like pinned me down, but it wasn't. So I woke myself up
So is it like sleep paralysis?
almost, and then it was a different energy because I've had it before,
Okay.
where I knew it was before when it happened. It was like negative energy,
Yeah.
but this
Yeah.
one was different. So I pulled myself out of it. I woke up and I sat up, and then all of a sudden I wasn't afraid. And then I said, okay. And then I said a quick prayer, and I said, okay. And I went back to sleep, and I went back to the exact position, and it came back.
Oh,
But
okay.
I just
So then you know it's not evil.
No, yeah, it was something.
Yeah.
Something. I was wondering if have you heard of?
So there's a lot of energetic downloads that are happening right now, and sometimes we can feel them physically. For some reason, because as you speak, I can see. Can you do me a huge favor? Fill that out for me. I'm dying. I told you I'm like, and no, there's no alcohol in it. I don't drink. But anyways, the way I saw it, because I can see as you describe, I saw it as a blanket, a very comforting blanket wrapping you in it. So and it feels like ancestral, like a blanket from the ancestors that is coming in for you. But I know you. I know your light. I've only met this gentleman. I can't remember your name. Sorry. But I know your light. He is a very, very enlightened being, and someone that I put you up here. Your light. I'd love to learn from you. So it's really cool having you in this class. But yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to go off on a tangent. You rock. Thank you so much. Told you. When I channel, for some reason, I get the world's worst dry mouth. So I don't know why. Was there any other questions?
Nope.
That was it?
That was it.
Woo.
At one point, you had like 34 watchers. We're at 16 right now.
Oh,
so
that's it.
well, I'll show you how to look at your tracking as when
Thank you,
people
because
fill
I
out.
don't know how to do that stuff. Hey, I don't care if even 2 people watched it. That's 2 people that we get to share our light with, right? So that's awesome. Thank you so much for everybody who stuck with us tonight.